All right, welcome to the lunchtime video. So the most important date coming up in regard to this test is going to be August 15th, I believe. And that is when I have a second Q&A session with Yasmin, who is the representative for this test. She's not going to be the proctor or like anything like that. She's just going to be like a public representative answering questions about the test. So I have a lot of questions. The first question I have is there any way we can take this test remote? Because I know we can take any other test offering remote. It's only the IE test offerings that are required in person. And from what I understand, the test has been changed a lot from how it used to be at the expert level. At the expert level, you would have physical gear, and they would give you questions where, now remember, the expert level isn't about questions. They would give you scenarios where the gear was cabled up improperly, and you'd have to actually go and recable it, depending on what you see. But from what I understand, the virtual, the tests are all now virtual. So perhaps there will still be a question where it's cabled up wrong virtually, and you'll have to change that. But as far as I know, that's not going to be on the test. So, if it's possible to do it all virtual, I have a big question, what's the advantage of doing it on site in these circumstances? And is there a way to do it off site? But, for me, the biggest question is, can I take the test at all? For the CCIE, the answer to that is a clear and resounding no. But for the JNCIE-SP, the Juniper equivalent of the CCIE, as far as I know, the answer is yes, but it requires a face mask. And then, of course, the question is not necessarily can I take it? The question is, can I take it if? And there's a number of scenarios that could happen in September. So if I live in a state that is having a serious outbreak, will they allow me to travel from that state to take this test? If Sunnyvale or Dale, I forget which one, California is having a huge outbreak, will I be allowed to travel into that? If the test proctors have all tested positive, will I be allowed to take that? Will I require, if I'm positive, will I be able to take it? How can I get tested? Are there going to be on-site tests? That sort of thing. And this is kind of a tangent. I like to, I'm really bad at not to going off on tangents, but I learned recently that not only is the United States, failing in a lot of kind of more complicated regards, we're also failing in a lot of really simple, straightforward regards. I mean, the most obvious one is masks. It's still not nationally, it's still not federal law that we need to wear a mask, and that's creating situations where people are resisting that or don't think it's legitimate to need to wear a mask, or think it's some sort of controversial issue whether or not to wear a mask. The fact that there's no federal law that protects citizens when there could be without issue, the fact that it's being made into an issue, aside from the health and well-being of the citizens of the United States of America, is really concerning. But the reason I bring this up is because I learned recently that there is a test that you can take where you just spit on a paper and in 10 minutes you get a result. But the reason it hasn't gone through the CDC yet and the FDA is because it won't detect low levels of virus. It will only detect high levels of virus. But high levels of virus are the most important thing to detect, because because your level of contagiousness does correlate to your levels of virus. So, but I bring that up because I guess the question I would have is, if we get that sort of test where, you know, even though it's unknown whether or not we're positive or negative for having the virus at all, you know, this sort of quick test where we know that we're having a lot of virus particles building up, is that a good enough test, or will we need a more, like, what kind of test will we need if there are multiple test options available at the time of the exam for the Juniper certs? So I just have a lot of questions, but they all kind of are in the same vein as, you know, what is the likelihood that I'll even be able to take the test at all? Because that's going to really determine a lot of what my behavior. Like if it's like, nope, it's very unlikely you could take this at that time, it's very likely to be pushed back. You know, I might want to accept the pushback, and instead of taking it in September, take it in November. But personally, and I try to keep these to a minimum, but I often am very bad at that, I would rather take it in September than November, because I believe that November will be in general a more dangerous time than September to travel in the United States. I think both will be dangerous times, but I think November will be far more dangerous. Okay, so in this video, we're going to move on from seamless Mpls. We're going to be learning about Ldp tunneling. Last video was kind of a really good video because I've been having issues with OL, so no outgoing label, for my L2 circuit connections. And I learned one way in which you can resolve that issue, and that is if one of the ports on your L2 circuit where your traffic either goes into the L2 circuit or leaves it is down, either admin down or not cabled up, then you will get an OL. Now in this case, the port that was, let me pull up a paint to make this more clear. So in this case, we had two routers, and then we had a pseudo wire, and let me make this a dotted line for the pseudo wire. So we had the port up on this side, but we had the port down on this side. So let me just make it like a red to show that it's down. So we had different error codes. This one is the one where we have the OL, no outgoing label. Oops, I don't have black selected, but it did it in black. I don't understand how that works. Well, red is fine. Well, it did it in red, I mean. So that one had OL. And then this one had something like LP or like something L something. But that's something to be aware of, is that you can have different status codes on different sides, even though the reason for those status codes is only a thing that is happening on one side. But when I plugged this into just the hub, just so the support was up, this status changed to up, which I believe is the first time I've ever gotten that status to change to up in my GNS3 home lab. So the really big victory there. Okay, I'm just going to add LDP to my tags too. Somebody might be looking for that specifically. Okay, so let's start the video. Same way we're going to start every other one. We're going to be just logging into one of the routers. Oh, shoot. Okay. Okay, and then we're going to be practicing using the help apropos in the most beneficial way I can figure out. So far now I've written an OP script with Python. I've done a number of ways to use help apropos to help me with this test. But the best way so far, because if I use that treasure trove script, I don't get super benefit, and then I got to memorize a script. It's, you know, and I'm using a different version in my home lab than I will be in the test, so it might work differently. But the best way I have found so far is do a help apropos, and then this is a regular expression, so you can just use a dot here, and you will get a, you're matching everything. You might need a star. Why don't you need a star? I guess I'm surprised you don't need a star. But anyways, just a dot is fine. Yeah, because you're just matching, you're just doing one match. So that's why you don't need the star, because you're just checking one character. So if it has one character, it's going to be match, and every single thing has one character. And that actually might be a good way so you don't get extra new lines or anything like that. Okay, so this is the best way I have found to use help apropos. Now, from here, what I would normally use the Python OP script to do is go in and filter. Essentially, if you're familiar with Linux grep, it is to go through all these files and grep out for some information. But I think a better way to do it is just to do a second match statement. Okay, and unfortunately, that won't be looking in the actual file itself the way grep would. I'm just searching by the file name. I mean, it's not the file name; it's the command that opens the file. Or that gives you back the information. We're not really talking about files as far as I know in this instance, but it's very similar. But you can see this is the best way. You start off with this, so you get every single thing back that is help topic, which is the more verbose version. And then you just add on match statements to narrow it down. And look at this, I got the exact perfect documentation that I need. Okay, so this is enabling LDP over Rsvp established LSPs. You can run LDP over LSPs established by Rsvp, effectively tunneling the LDP established LSP through the one established by Rsvp. To do so, enable LDP on the LO0.0 interface, see enabling and disabling LDP. You must also configure the LSPs over which you want LDP to operate by including the LDP tunneling statement at the edit protocols Mpls label switch path LSP name hierarchy level. For a list of hierarchy levels at which you can include this statement, see the statement summary section for this statement. For more information about tunneling LDP LSPs, see tunneling LDP LSPs in Rsvp Lsps. Okay, so this is pretty much what it's going to be. So let's put this in Notepad++. Okay, and then let's get this to work here. So to do that, so we'll use a simpler topology. We'll just use these two leftover routers, and we'll just do a straight router 7 to router 8 connection and try to tunnel LDP over Rsvp. Oops. Okay, so I've never seen this happen before. This is the pain of virtualization, unfortunately. Okay, it looks like it's behaving now. So let's figure this out here. So one thing I didn't do is I only grabbed one section of this. I'm gonna grab the whole thing. Okay. Okay, and let's blank out the config, except for, of course, the initial config. All right, same thing on router 8. Oops, looks like I forgot to do, but I can always do the run show. Okay, so we've got those blanked out now. Let's look at the help again. And just a reminder, I do get this during the exam. That's the point of using help apropos on the CLI. So you've got to run it over LSPs established by Rsvp. So the first thing I need to do is enable Ldp on the LO00 interface. Okay, so let's set up the LO00 interface on these. Something happened outside. Oh, maybe I did order something, so my package might be here. Although I don't know why it would be delivered in a unmarked white van. Okay, so yeah, I'm a little bit on edge because I walked downtown on Sunday and a shooting happened half an hour after I got in my car and went back home. So, and I was actually thinking about going down into the area where the shooting happened just because it was downtown. So I just kind of wanted to do some sightseeing, but I didn't want to do that kind of sightseeing. But I've definitely been a little bit stressed lately because of how different things are right now and the potential of what I could bump into. I've really been trying to stay home as much as possible, which is stressful as well. All right, so let's go with .1 and .2 with the /30 network. Oh God, not only is that an unmarked van, it's an unmarked van with the side of it smashed in. Well, hopefully it's delivering I bought something that'll hopefully help me. It's like a massage gun. Okay, so I think everything's good with that, but we're going to need more than just that as well. We'll need a physical connection between the two. So I'm going to set that up. So we'll go with 10.1.2. Okay, so yeah, everything's good there. So we're gonna need to enable LDP now. Let's do that. Oh, sorry, we're not going to be enabling LDP. So the first thing we're going to be doing is setting up an Rsvp established LSP. Okay, so we're going to have two LSPs. We're going to have one established by Rsvp and we're going to have one established by LDP. So the kind of interesting part is that the one established by LDP will be going through the one established by Rsvp. So you kind of get an advantage, unless of course there's a way to do it the other way around, in using Rsvp, and that's if you ever wanted to use LDP, you wouldn't have to change your configuration too much because you could just tunnel it over your existing Rsvp configuration. Now, I'm not sure if it works the other way as well, but this might be something to consider if you're ever in a situation where you can choose between using Rsvp and LDP. Personally, I would probably just favor LDP just because it's simpler. But I would be I would be open to Rsvp. Like it's not like using OSPF version 2 where there's just no reason to ever do that in a new network because it won't be compatible with IPv6. You're definitely better off using either OSPF version 3 or ISIS. Or of course, you know, using RIP version 1. Of course, that's just ridiculous. It's not like that when deciding between Rsvp and LDP. There are legitimate reasons to use either one. Okay, and there's a lot of door slamming happening outside. Oh. Okay, it's from the unmarked white van. It's probably just somebody moving in or moving out, probably moving out with all the things that are happening. Okay, let's see here. We've got, okay, so let's set up a Rsvp Lsp. All right, I'm just going to commit this for now. I might need, so I've got to establish an LSP, so I probably need Mpls as well. Yep, so I'm going to need Mpls, I'm going to need an LSP, so let's do that. So we're going to do edit, or let's do set interfaces 0, and it's going to be family Mpls. Okay. Okay, and now let's do edit protocols Mpls. And it's going to look similar to this, but it's going to be different. We'll call it Rsvp connection. We'll do a edit. Okay, and we'll do a set from source. Okay, we don't need, yeah, okay, well, these are just keywords. Okay, so it's from 10.0.1.1 set to 10.0.1.2. Okay, let's see what the other options are. Let's see if we've got a tunneling command for wait. We wouldn't have the tunneling command for Rsvp as far as I understand. Yeah, so here's the Ldp tunneling command. I'm not sure how to make sure that this is Rsvp. But let's just go with what we got here and see if this is all that is needed. Okay, so hopefully we've got a valid Rsvp L2 circuit now. And we don't. Okay, so let's do some t-shooting. Okay, so I'm not exactly sure how to set up this, so let's do help apropos dot match help topic match Rsvp. Okay, let's look at examples. All right, let's change things around a bit. Okay, so I think this is what I'm looking for. Connections examples. All right, so let me try this. Okay, so this doesn't tell me whether I'm establishing this with Rsvp or Ldp. Okay. One thing I need to change is I do need a IGP. I'm missing that right now, so I'm going to kind of forget about this for now and do first things first with that. Let's use ISS, or let's just use OSPF because I'm lazy. Oh, maybe that's why it wasn't coming up. I didn't commit this other side yet. That's probably it. Well, no such luck. Okay. Okay, so it's down. I don't know why it's down. So I think it could be. Okay, well. I think I know why it's down. It's because I'm doing it completely wrong. So I can't have a connection from here to here. I'd have to. So one thing I could do is sever this link, move this over here, and then have a connection from there to there, and then I need a core link here. So I'm doing it completely incorrect. Basically, I'm treating it as though you can have one port serve two different roles. You're going to need to have 2 ports per device at minimum, because each port is going to serve a different role. One port is going to move traffic on and off the L2 VPN. sorry, not the L2 VPN, the L2 circuit, and then the other port is going to just move it through the L2 circuit down the wire. So let me try that. But that's really annoying. It's like the world's most annoying thing. And I might need to take a quick break, because of course I will. I don't know what's more annoying, these graphics freaking out or me constantly having to take a quick break. Okay, so we can't use 0, 0 anymore, so we'll just do 1, 1. We're still going to need 0, 0, but we're going to need it because but we're just going to need those to be up. So we'll just use hubs to artificially make sure that those are up. Okay, we'll need 2 hubs. So hopefully those will just open up on their own. Well, it looks like they're not, so I'm going to quit and come back. I wonder if I can just hit like refresh or something. Nope. Okay, so here's the hubs. Bam. Okay, so we're going to so now we're going to fix the configuration. I had it all completely wrong in my head, exactly what it needs. So this is something I kind of got to be honest with myself about. I've got a misconception about how LSPs work, and I'm going to constantly be crippled by that unless I realize that my first instinct is unfortunately a misconception. So the correct way is not to have a oh, right. So the correct way is not to have the port facing the front of your L2 circuit, not to have that one configured with family Mpls necessarily, unless maybe it's just missing, like it needs family. Let me see here. Oh, okay. Yeah, I do know what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm going to take a quick break here. I'll be right back very soon. Okay, I'm back, and to be fair, it is the lunch hour, so just never taking a break is it's not going to be possible. And really, there's no better place to take it, I think, than during lunch. So let's continue on. Okay, I know what I'm doing here. So let's exit and take another look at the active configuration. Okay, so we're going to have 2 different ports. We're going to have ports plugged into the hub and then ports plugged into the other device. So the ports plugged into the hub right now are GE000. These are going to be the from and the to. So perfect, we've already got that. Oh. Okay, well, this could be the, the problem right here. Let's see if this fixes it. It looks like I got the from and the to. mixed up. Okay, so I'm sure the other side has the same problem. Let's take a look at that. Yep, the other side's got the same problem as well. Okay, so hopefully this fixes things, but I think I still do have a misconception. Oh, and not only that, I've got it wired up differently now, so it's yep, it's going to require the other kind of wiring. But the good news is that's not too hard to do. Okay, so yeah, this is what I thought. It's just a misconception in how L in the topologies behind L2 circuits. Oops, I'm getting a lot of work notifications here. I'm on break though, and I'm gonna be back in like 10 minutes. But I'm getting, when I say a lot, I mean a lot. Okay, so let's change the wiring here. Okay, and now let me set it up in the manner my perhaps better nature is telling me it's meant to be set up. So this is going to be perfectly fine. The only thing is we will need another port. Okay, and then this is the port that's going to have Rsvp. Oh, you know what? It could be. It could also be that. Let me do a rollback. Yeah, it could be that it's missing from. Yeah, let me try this first. Okay, so obviously I'm going to need to change the wiring again, but I really don't have high hopes. I really think I'm right now just practicing a misconception I have about the topologies of LT circuits, but we will see. Yep. Okay, so I'll stop indulging that idea and just stick to what I know is the way it's meant to be. All right. Okay, so now I'm gonna need to set up another port, family Mpls. Then don't need this here anymore. Okay, we're just gonna need this. Okay, so let's see here. Edit interfaces. There we go. Family MPLS. Yep. I think another thing I can do is delete. It won't be necessary here, so I'll delete it from there. Okay, and I think this is going to be good. Let me just do a show pipe compare so I know what the other side requires. Okay, so the other side is going to require all of these changes. Oh, I can also just do show configuration, but if I do that, I'm looking at the candidate configuration. I want to look at the active configuration. Okay, so let's see here. Right, okay, so I need to do this. Perfect, and then do this. Okay, so obviously I don't have a L2 circuit connection. Oh, I'm not learning any Rsvp neighbors either, so that's going to be a big problem. So it looks like I don't need a from statement, so I'm going to try removing that. Okay, so that's not working at all. I wonder if an IP address is required. I've got about 2 minutes, so I'm going to use it to find out. Because clearly the first thing I'm going to need is an Rsvp neighbor. Okay, so let's see if this allows me to establish an Rsvp neighbor. It does not. Okay, so I'm not sure why I can't establish a Rsvp neighbor, but unfortunately I am out of time, so I will need to figure this out in the next video. Let me just search here for neighbor. So okay, so unfortunately kind of left high and dry with that, but I'm out of time, so thanks for watching and see you in the next one.